Hi, and welcome to Get Clear, Get Focused, and Be Fruitful. What I want to do is do a quick overview for you to help you kind of understand the vision of the program, what it is, what it isn't, how to progress through it. And I found that this kind of thing can be really helpful to kind of give you some bearing. So, to do that, first, let me share my screen with you. Hopefully, this will happen smoothly. Let me go to the beginning here. Uh, okay, so you'll see me up in the corner. There might be times where it's best for me to step aside, but I've done this some just orally, but it might be helpful to use the PowerPoint with it. So again, get clear, get focused, and be fruitful. An overview of what this thing really is about. And so the vision is pretty simple. The goal of what I'm after for you and with you is for you to get clear about who you are, your identity. So you're discovering your design, you're recognizing your placement and taking uh, uh, responsibility for particularly your roles and the relationships related to them. And you're starting to represent Christ in your setting. You're getting clear about your design, your placement, and your sense of purpose. And then even clear about how you want to practice that with the development of a rhythm or a rule of life. So you want to get clear. And once you're clear, then you want to start to focus. And that means that you're starting to prioritize your life around that clarity. It's going to help you make decisions. It's going to help you say yes. It's going to help you say no. So you're focusing your life according to how you're discerning how God has developed and placed you. And then the idea of being fruitful. And by being fruitful, really what I mean is, often we think of fruitfulness either in the fruit of seeing people come to Christ uh, and or the fruit of the Holy Spirit, and those are real. But I also want really for you to actualize or manifest the image of Christ in you. We're not just being conformed to the image of Christ in some external abstract uh, idea. We're being conformed to the image of Christ in us, Jesus in Tom's skin. I want you to be fruitful as a manifestation of Jesus' presence according to your unique design, where he's placed you and with whom. And so the second semester of the Get Clear program is releasing the resources of heaven. And that whole thing is about how to advance the kingdom according to who you are and who God brings into your life. Let me describe a little bit of what the program is. This is a program for clarity and discernment. It is not teaching you or giving you the right ways to do it. It's really giving you opportunity to discover yourself. So it's going to take a lot of reflection, a lot of kind of wrestling with God and discerning what God's done, both in his created order of you, but also of using your experiences and those around you. So it's a clarity and discernment kind of tool. This is also what I'm about is I want to equip and embolden you as you get clear and get focused. I want to embolden you to take big steps into your future. Clarity is awesome, but my nature is I want to help you. I want to coach you to be able to be bold, but also able, equipped. You have the tools to do it. The program is also uses these three dynamics, and this is important. I think this was like a huge discovery for me over the last few years. The course entails curriculum, coaching, group coaching, and some one-on-one coaching. I think is best, and the community of others who are discovering their design and clarifying, focusing, and moving ahead. Those three things together: curriculum that you're working through at your own pace and integrating into your life, coaching where I'm giving you insight and prophetic discernment, community where we're supporting each other, giving feedback, It's the most powerful combination I've ever seen. So that's what the program is. It's kind of like church in a way. It's really in a way that the word church, I think, originally was used. Jesus first used the word church, uses it Matthew 16, Matthew 18, but in those settings, he's using a word, ecclesia, that comes from Greek, and in Athens, the ecclesia was a gathering of leaders once a year, and they would determine commerce. They did determine what comes in the gates and what doesn't, and leadership. So when Jesus says, I will build my ecclesia, I think he's saying, I will build the leadership of the world to transform the world. When he gathered 12 disciples, he's saying, he's kind of like symbolically replacing the 12 tribes of Israel. It's a combination of those things, but he's saying a new government. When he sends out the 70, that's, I think, related to the 70 initial nations that some would say in Genesis 12 or 11. But the point is that it's a church. Our gathering is a church in that it is designed to help you find your place to disciple nations. And so that way, what we're about is helping each other take our place responsibly and boldly. What the program also is, this thing is profoundly spiritual. Now, there's going to be a lot of like inventories. It's not a tremendous amount of scripture used in it, but the whole thing's spiritual. As you're discovering your design, it's really a form of worship. As you start to reflect with Jesus, it's very intimate. You getting to know yourself with God's help, dialoguing with him, is incredibly spiritual and intimate. It's very important because of what it does to lay a foundation for the next season or seasons of your life. As I mentioned, it's foundational for your identity, who you are as a son or daughter, but your identity, who you are getting into comfortable with your own skin, in a sense, in God. It's going to be foundational for decision making, as I've mentioned before, relationships, jobs, where you live. That kind of direction also comes into play. What this program is not, in some ways, is as important as what it is. This is not a quick fix. A lot of people come into this hoping that they'll clarify their purpose and can move on in life. There is no such thing as quick fix or quick clarity. It's going to take some work. It's going to take reflection. It's going to take the input of others. It's going to take a rounded approach. Neither is this a how-to plan. Do this, do this, do this, and your life will go well. This is more about principles and you integrating things into your life. This too is not we meet in a weekly group Zoom, but this is not group inspirational message centered. This is not church as we have known it, where the pastor gives a powerful message and we go out of that. We'll be tempted. I'll be tempted as a pastor for 35 years. You'll be tempted if you've been part of the church for a long time to rely on the group meeting. It is a group meeting for the purpose of equipping and encouraging each other, for kind of like a lateral encouragement and spurring. It is not that the message and the inspiration is the thing. The thing is actually you working through the curriculum, understanding, reflecting, integrating, and implementing it in your life. This is not information to be mastered. So in that way, most of our schooling is about mastering information, being able to spit it out, even spit it in our own words, spit it out in our own words. But this is not about information mastery. What it is about is integrating and applying what your understanding of yourself, what your understanding of God's intent in your life. And because that's the way that it works, skimming, cramming will do nothing. It probably does nothing anywhere, but it particularly does nothing in the nature of your development and your working out of what God has worked into your life. So how do we move ahead? Well, first thing, if you can do this at the beginning or establish this pattern, it will be really valuable. Consistency is key. Now, you were in this for a year. So I want to encourage you to find a pace that works for you. Maybe it's Tuesday and Thursday morning, or sometime at night. But if you can get consistent, maybe it's those same days. I'd encourage 2 or 3 blocks a week that are at least a half hour long, where you're going to be interacting with the material. It might be that you're praying about it that day. It might be that you're writing. It might be that you're taking inventory. Do the next step in the curriculum, but do it in a consistent way, that you're just moving ahead. This content and your integration will bring change, will bring growth. I can guarantee it. However, life happens. There's going to be times where you might get sick, or you might have something, an injury, or you might get really busy at work, or you might have pressures on you, or you may lose motivation. It's going to happen. Walk in a focused way. This thing is important. This program, this curriculum is going to lay a foundation, direction for your life. So it's important. You need to remember that. So you want to be focused, but you also want to be gracious with yourself. There may be a month, or there may be 2 months where you're kind of not happening very much. And so what's important at that point is you need to remember your why. Why are you here? You're here to get clear and get focused and be more fruitful than you've ever been in your life. I believe that's all realistic through working this stuff out. So when you go through doldrums, when you go through hardship, you'll be able to come back with the why. I need to get back to that why, not because I'm behind, not because Tom's going to be on my case. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. You want the why because you want to be focused, clear, and fruitful. It's best if the program that you sign up for, it's ideal. I like to meet with people once a month individually to help speak into your life prophetically, help pace you. If you didn't sign up on that kind of a level, you might want to consider upgrading or whatever. Or we could, you can set up to pay to meet with me individually once in a while. But that monthly meeting, the best way to do it financially is to integrate it into your program. And then you're getting the group, and the coaching is not just group coaching. You will also get one-on-one from me. That, I think, is probably my strength. I like the group thing, but the most powerful transformation in other people's lives is often through my kind of prophetic gifting. So how do you move ahead with this? First of all, realize that the entire curriculum is in play. By that, what I mean is there'll be people coming and going through the program at different paces. And so we're not going to all be at the same place. You're going at your own pace. But when we have our group meetings, there will usually be some kind of a hook where we share a little bit about what's going on for each of us. And then there'll be a mini teaching. And then we open it up for questions, and a lot of questions and application and coaching. It might be related to the topic, or you could bring up anything from the curriculum, anything from the 70 lessons or whatever is involved in it. Bring up, because we all learn, even if we have not gotten to that part of the curriculum yet. Or we all learn, even if it's something we did and we're able to speak into somebody's life, or it deepens in us. So the whole curriculum is always in play in our group Zoom meetings. In that process, particularly when we're in the group gathered together, receive from everyone. One of the beauties of this format is that we have people from their 20s to their 70s. It's incredibly nurturing and enriching. So we want to have people from both ends of the age spectrum, and we have people from all kinds of different states and at times from different countries. So there's ethnic diversity, there's life station diversity. So we want to receive from each other, to be mentored from each other according to what the Holy Spirit's doing. To do that, before we gather, or before you get and you're going to do your study in the curriculum, do what you can to kind of get yourself ready in God. Be present and be active. It's kind of like leaning forward. When we meet, you're there. The tendency, it's a two-dimensional atmosphere. Instead, you want to move beyond that plane to kind of three-dimensional of you and your spirit, moving ready to listen and receive, ready to offer and give, not dominating, but active. We're all participants. Don't rely on Coach Tom and everybody be passive. I want to encourage you to be present and active. I also encourage you to buddy up. You're going to find there'll be others in the group walking alongside that you might connect with, and you recognize that. Well, in the group chat, do some direct chat with them. Say, would you like to get together? I'd like to hear more of your story. I'd like to pray for you. Don't abuse it. Use it rightly. Buddy up for mutual strength and encouragement. And or I would encourage you to get a prayer partner or two, possibly in the group or possibly outside the group. Somebody that you know you can share with what you're learning, what you're dealing with. They can be praying for you. It will strengthen you. It will strengthen them also. As you move ahead, recognize that there will be people coming and going because everybody starts at different times of year and all that kind of thing. And so that's important. There's a few things. We want to welcome each other well. So if there's new people around and you've been in for a little while, when you hear them, pop them a little note, find out their email, say, do an encouragement to them. So welcome people well, but also if it's your time to leave or somebody's time to leave, recognize that there's a great book called Necessary Endings. I really like the book. I've read that book 3 or 4 times now. We're not good at it. It's hard because we developed some intimacy in this program to say goodbye to people, but leaving well is really important. If you're going to, when you go to your job, starting well with a good attitude, serving, humble attitude, a can do, a willing to give of yourself, start is important, and ending well is important. As you finish your job, you're going to leave, take time to leave well. Take time to give particular thanks to people for how they've been of benefit to you, whether it's through a text or an email or a word or a gift. In the same way, as you leave here, I don't want you to just fade away. I'm going to ask you, I'd like to meet with you, hear what's going down, hear what you've learned, what's been helpful, what you've grown, maybe ways you can help me do it better. And I'd like you to leave from a group Zoom and us be able to pray for you, and you be able to share what you learned, what was transformed, what you found difficult. So people are going to be coming and going. So don't cling too hard. It's part of the difficult part of life before heaven is that it involves goodbye. So we hold each other, but we hold each other open-handedly. Lastly, I want to encourage you that part of what this is about too is I really am on a mission. I want to help people get clear, get focused, and be fruitful. I want to help people identify how to move ahead, but I want to do this across the country. I want to do this in the nations. I want to coach people from around the world. That's what God has put in me, and I'd like your help in relation to that. One way is when you see me post, whether it's in Facebook or Instagram or who knows what will be developing by the time maybe you even see this, like it, comment on it, repost it. Help me broaden the base. Tell people that this is good stuff, and if you need to get back to me and say, that stunk, let me know. Don't put that one public. Get back to me. But otherwise, like stuff, comment on it, repost it, help others forward things. Share also what you're learning with those in your sphere. When we share what God's doing in our life, the conviction he's giving, the things we're learning about in our lives, when we share, others can enter into that. They can understand too. Well, how are you doing that? I'm in this program for a year long. We're doing curriculum. We're doing coaching. We're in community. It's powerful. So share what you're learning and this setting. Consider, here's a kind of crazy idea. I want to encourage you to consider, and once you're a little bit into it, even when you finish the first module, you'll realize that this tool is really helpful for people to gain clarity in their lives. Well, you may want to consider who you'd like to disciple that and allow the curriculum, allow my coaching to do like a foundational piece of that, and that you can just walk alongside some people that you refer into this. And you're going to disciple them as they're getting clear. You're going to be praying for them. You're going to be giving feedback to them. You can use this program as a kind of backdrop for maybe other kinds of desire. You might be in scripture or sharing or Bible study or whatever, but you want to help particularly one or two that you feel like, I want to help you lay a foundation in your life. So you can encourage them into the program. You can say, I'll be of support to you. It could be that maybe they can't afford it, but you want to help scholarship them, or you want to help them find resources to lay this foundation to understand who they are, what God's put in their lives, so that they could gain at a young age or at whatever stage they're at, what they're not going to gain without this level of intentionality. So consider if there's anybody like that in your life. And you could, I always want you to be considering inviting others into the program. You're really my best organic way to grow. There'll be other ways that I'll do, and some of that's through media and things like that. I've got ideas of where I want to go. I'm on a learning curve. It's not easy, but the organic way is the best way. You inviting others. And one way to do that is email them. Whoever you think this could be a good thing. You can share an email, what's good about it, what you're learning about it, why you think they might fit in it. And copy me on email, let them know you copied me, and say, I think, if this seems of value, I'd encourage you guys to connect. Now, they probably won't make the step, but it gives me an entree to be able to follow up with them and say, if this is something of interest, I'd love to share with you. Can do a free strategy session or whatever. And we're just looking to see who God is fitting. But if this is a mission that I believe God's given me, that means if that's true, he's going to bring people that fit. But I have to be clear, and I need your help. So one is to email people. Another is, you can, if you gather people, I want to give you some incentives to consider that. So if you get, another client who signs up in this, I'll give you $100. If you get 2 clients, I'll give you $300. If you get 3 clients, I'll give you your what's the word that I want? Your fee, your registration for free. So we can talk about that. So if you're an arm for me to help me influence more people to be clear, focused, and fruitful, I want to reward you. So again, consider that. If you have ideas or questions, feel free to contact me. Again, wanted to give you that overview, the whole big picture, the vision of it. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm really glad you're walking with me. I believe this can be massively transformational if you'll give yourself to it, but it will take discipline and time and consistency. You're going to hit tough spots. I'm here to pray. I'm here to give you feedback. Awesome. Hope that's of great benefit. And with that, let me say goodbye. And again, say thank you that you are in this with me. And I hope that you find it beneficial that I'm in this with you too. Bye-bye.